This room right here, you can see there was a mad dash to get to that 7 o'clock mark, and then you've got things starting to settle down here. People are taking a break, then they're going to get back at it because, again, tomorrow morning we've got another deadline. More of those coming here in Arizona. There are still about 300,000 ballots outstanding. There is a crowd outside. They're a little bit more subdued right now. You can kind of hear them chanting, but they've been keeping things pretty mellow. We actually had somebody go into the crowd and try to explain to a lot of people Sharpie Gate. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Sharpie Gate, but here in Arizona it is something that has been gathering a lot of steam. It's a conspiracy theory that's now been debunked, and the conspiracy theory goes a little bit like this, if you forgive me. Some Trump supporters believe that they were given Sharpies on purpose, and they were given these Sharpies to invalidate their votes when they were filling out their ballots. But from what we understand from poll officials, everybody was given Sharpies, and in fact, when you're talking about these tabulators right here that can punch out 6,000 to 8,000 of those ballots every hour, precision is key. Now, here's why those like Sharpies more than they like pens. All right, so here's a Sharpie. So you fill in a Sharpie, right? We're filling in the Sharpie, and then it dries extremely quickly, and it doesn't leave any streaks. This is your normal ballpoint pen. These are also usable. However, the Sharpie is preferred because we'll give it a second here, and then, oops. You can see that smudge. That smudge, sometimes if it's bad enough, if it's a new pen or if it's leaking ink, it can get in, gunk up the mirrors and gunk up the sensors. It can also spread onto other ballots, and it can take one of these machines down for quite some time. Time is of the essence, obviously, here. So they prefer Sharpies. It is just in Maricopa County, from what we can tell. We're not talking about other counties, and other counties may not allow Sharpies. Now, the conspiracy theory goes like this. If you use a Sharpie, it bleeds through, right? And this does not bleed through. So what Maricopa County has done, obviously this is not an official ballot, this is my poor penmanship here, but what the official ballots look like is they're offset on the backside. So when you do have those bubbles on the back, they are not exactly where the bubbles are on the front, so that the intention of the voter is very clear. That's something that has caused a lot of confusion because there are so many different systems around Arizona, and not just around Arizona, but all over the country. It's something that officials here, poll officials, are trying really hard to debunk because they've got an important job to do. They've got to get these ballots out, and those protests outside can be a distraction, especially when poll workers have to be escorted to their cars by armed security.
You are right to explain it because it's been mentioned, it's out there. You're also right that it's a conspiracy theory. Gandhi Schwartz, who came armed with not one but two pens for this segment. Rachel, back over to you.
I have to say, that was sort of beautifully done. I kind of read in on Sharpie Gate, and I had thought that I understood it or whatever, but when he did the smudge, and the smudge worked perfectly, and then he held it up to the light, and you could see it did bleed through, that was like Mr. Wizard territory. That was... Anyway, sorry, containing myself now. Joining us now is the top elections official in the great state of Arizona, Secretary of State Katie Hobbs. Secretary Hobbs, thank you so much for being back with us at this busy time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. And I very much enjoyed watching that Sharpie Gate demonstration.
I wanted to ask for your critique of it from an accuracy perspective. In terms of understanding it, I actually feel like I have a stronger understanding of what people might have misunderstood or what people might have been scaring each other about when it came to the Sharpie conspiracy theory. Is what Gandhi explained actually lining up with what people have misunderstood in your state?
Yeah, I think so. And, honestly, the Sharpies are the pens recommended by the manufacturer of those particular tabulators. And they were issued by poll workers who would probably get in a lot of trouble if they deliberately tried to invalidate ballots. And so this whole thing is just sort of ridiculous.